Bob is special to Wake Forest because he loves this university so much. Everything that he has achieved, he attributes to what he learned at Wake Forest and what this university has made him to be. Whether it be on the football field or in the classrooms, he credits Wake Forest for his success.
I think Wake Forest provided Bob really the launching pad for his career. Here's a person that really comes from very humble beginnings that came to Wake Forest. Wake Forest provided a scholarship to Bob, and he took full advantage.
Probably my favorite Bob McCreary story is that when Bob was early in his career at Wake Forest, had a very serious knee injury. But our old head trainer, Doc Martin, challenged Bob with that. He said, "You're not going to quit. You're going to get well. You're going to be all right. If you ever quit, you'll quit again." Bob McCreary is not a quitter, and he didn't quit then.
Bob has a tremendous work ethic, and when you go to visit him in his office, he has a picture on the wall of what we would call a shed today, and that is the house that he grew up in. They had no running water, they didn't have toilet facilities. I think that picture hangs on his wall to remind him that he is experiencing a different life today because of his work ethic.
Bob McCreary is quite a competitor. He's competitive as he could be. That's one of the first things I noticed about Bob. When I first met Bob, it was obvious that Bob was already successful and that he would be successful in life. And he is a competitor in whatever he does. In his furniture business, I know that he wants to be the best at what he does.
My first memories of McCreary Modern were when I was in high school and my father decided to start the company. And I remember walking into this factory that he had just purchased, and it was a two-story fiber mill in downtown Newton that had rickety floors and dangerous staircase. And I remember walking into the place, and maybe I was a little skeptical, but having seen what he's done before, it didn't take me long before I realized that it was going to be the beginning of something much bigger.
I've never thought, like so many business people, that he is driven by more. I think he's the kind of guy that wants success, he wants other people to be successful, and he's been generous with incentives and programs for his employees to benefit from the success of the company.
About 7 or 8 years ago, my father did gift about 30% of the company to employees. He felt a deep sense of responsibility for the families that depended on these jobs and who depended on him. And the greatest way he felt to reward them was to give 30% of the company to the employees.
He has built a team. That whole organization works together through his leadership. And you just sense when you go to his company and meet the people and talk to the people that they follow his passion, his desire, his drive for success.
Pro-humanitate for Bob is really through his gifts. The last 3 major projects that we have, whether it be the Bob McCreary video board, Deacon Tower, or McCreary Fieldhouse, Bob was the lead gift. His support financially has been really the backbone of this renaissance of building and construction.
When our football team first got to see the new indoor center that he provided, we walked into that new facility, and those players, this is the first time they'd seen this new indoor field. They just went hysterical. I mean, they started running around, running from one end of the field to the other. After that, Bob called them in and talked to them, and he told them just how proud he was of Wake Forest and how he wanted to give back to Wake Forest. You could just see a tear in his eyes of joy of what he had accomplished and the joy that he saw in these guys.
It'd be hard to imagine where we'd be without Bob. He wants Wake Forest to win at football and to win in athletics, and that is a primary reason why he's as generous as he is. And our players are motivated by that. If a guy that played here back in the 1960s is that motivated to see us win football games, it's hard for that not to kind of wear off on them a little bit. So I think they see his determination, his competitiveness, his fire, and it's hard for that not to motivate you as a staff or as a team.
It's wonderful what he's doing for the campus, and I fully support it. I mean, nothing gives him more pleasure, maybe outside of his family, than giving back to the university that gave him so much.
If there's anything I would say to Bob McCreary, it's thank you. Thank you not only for your gifts to this university, but for the way you have role modeled.
I can't thank Bob enough. I mean, he has put us in such a better position as a football program, as a university.
Hey Dad, I just wanted to say that on this very special night, there's no one in the world that I'm more proud of or that I consider more of a role model than you. And I love you very much. And if I could turn out to be half the man you are, I'd be a heck of a man. So congratulations.